What's up, folks? It's Jake here. I'm driving on the way back to Nashville, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about something that I have a little bit of experience with as of recently, and that is name changes in the streaming world with music. Um, for the longest time, I've released music as Legit Smitty. You may know me as such. And I've now decided recently that I'm going to do all my future releases as Smitty. Um, as I've started to step into what it looks like to go through that name change and to release music as Smitty and to have my name on show posters as Smitty, I've started to have some thoughts, maybe some, not regrets quite yet, but just some extended thought about this topic and thought I'd hop on here and share for anyone contemplating something similar. I originally started my artist project on Spotify and started releasing music in 2019 as Legit Smitty when I was in high school. And my name had come from a different origin story, which was kind of, you know, coming up with my Instagram handle in middle school. At the time, I, you know, was in middle school, so my skills and my thought process with naming a art project, with naming a musical project or a band or something of that nature, those skills were not necessarily fine-tuned. I wasn't really thinking it through very much, as many people will probably tell you about how they named their first band or their first project. But for the longest time, in the spirit of authenticity and of staying, with the same moniker and moving in the same direction, I didn't really think about, the implications of sticking with that name. And I think that was a good thing. I think it was good to develop a brand around that name and to stay the same for as long as I did. If you go look at some of the things that I've written about the direction I'm moving in now and why I've decided to change my name, a lot of it is that I don't feel like that the name Legit Smitty matches the music that I'm making now and what I'm moving towards. What I was making when I came up with that name and decided that it would be a good name for my artist project was I was making stuff that was a little more pop. It was a little more even rap leaning. So a name like Legit did sound like it made a little more sense. Saying Legit Smitty, you think, oh, that could be a rap project, maybe an indie bedroom pop project, which is kind of what was going on at the time. When my music started to move in a more organic direction, I didn't really ask questions about my project's name. I was just like, this is who I am. I'm going to keep moving forward. This is who people know me as. They'll take interest in the art and the music if they choose to, which in a lot of ways was true. And has been true, and I think it still is true. I think if I stayed Legit Smitty, I could still have a following, and I might be stifling my following by changing my name. But here's why I'm still going to do it. Here's why I still have done it. I think that how I feel whenever I talk about my music project, whenever I talk about my artistry, and when I tell people what my project is called is important. I think that how I feel whenever I am trying to get excited or tell someone about a show that I have coming up, if I'm trying to tell them what my band is called and I'm embarrassed about it and I don't think that it reflects the music that I'm creating, then I'm going to be less likely to talk about it. Now, there are other better ways to get over that. I could just develop resilience and say my project is called Legit Smitty. But I found myself justifying that name in conversation when talking about my own project. Now, me talking about my own project is not the only way my project gains publicity, obviously. And that's another reason why I was interested in the name change. because I know what it's like to want to take interest in a band and see the name on paper and say, oh, I like that name. I would actually try to become a fan of that band. If I were to see the name Legit Smitty as a 20-something and I heard the music, I might say, oh, this music sounds cool. But I might not ever even get the opportunity to say the music sounds cool if I wouldn't click on the name and give it a chance. I don't know if I would give the name Legit Smitty a chance or think that it would sound like something that I would like to listen to. That was the tipping point at which I said, maybe let's try to change something. Let's try to keep it as similar as possible, but let's try to change something. Because I was like, all right, there's a lot of music I've discovered recently on, Spotify playlist or other things of that nature. People just, being on social media, me seeing people tagged in posts or, on flyers for shows or something like that. And I say, oh, that's a cool band name. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to take interest in this project. And then I like the music, and then it all connects. And I'm like, I'm into this. It's a brand. It's a sound. It's a brand. It's a name. If I think something's corny, if I think something sounds corny, maybe this is just me being pretentious, but I'm not going to take interest in it. I'm not going to wear it on a t-shirt. I think that the Legit Smitty name and the Legit Smitty project has kind of rode on being kind of corny for a really long time, but I'm being, who I am now, and I don't think that capitalizing on that sector of branding and being kind of off the cuff is going to serve me anymore. I think that what I'm trying to do, I would like to be taken just the instant bit more seriously, and therefore I'm trying to kind of cut the fat of even my name and my project, and say, hey, this has been more, solidified. This is more matured. This is more honest now than it's ever been. And I'm ready to put kind of a bookend, a chapter in what has come before and start kind of a new project. It's actually, obviously not starting a new project, but what I decided to do was keep all of my old catalog under the name Legit Smitty, so that the fans that I have developed in this small art circle can still consume it. But everything moving forward, I hope, can thrive on this new Smitty page. Let's talk about downsides. Obviously, if someone knows me as Legit Smitty and I say I have new music out and they already know me, and I'm not talking about my name change because I don't want to talk about that all the time, they might go look up Legit Smitty on Spotify and not find my music because now I've decentralized everything. That's totally not, in my favor. But I have to trust that they'll find it and it'll be okay, and that they might follow me on social media and put the dots together on their own. Because I'm trying to stay true and authentic to what I think is best for me, I have to be okay with that loss. Is that smart? I really don't know. I haven't put out new music on the Smitty page. I've transferred some of what I, believe stands true to what I'm, trying to stand for now. I've transferred some of that over to the Smitty page and left some stuff on the Legit Smitty page. I've started to separate my catalog in a way. Decentralization in this way, it's unfortunate. It's interesting. It's, in my mind, though, what I think should happen, because I don't want everyone who finds my new music to also find the music that I made when I was 17. I do not believe in that music in the same way. And I don't want to stand on it like it's business. And that is why I've chosen to change my name. That is why I'm here today talking about it. And that's my 2 cents. That's kind of my closing remark. Is I think we have the right to kind of move on and grow up in our artistry. It does not always mean we need to change our name, but for me it did. And that is my testimony, if you will. This I-40 traffic and landslide recovery repair near Asheville and Knoxville is crazy if you haven't driven through here. Anyways, it's beautiful, but I'm going to get back on the road now. This has been a great conversation, and I hope this has been helpful to you in some way. Thanks for watching, and let me know below in the comments if you want me to talk about anything else more in depth. Drop a like if you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.